They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
It's a room to maneuver. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. Here's Brees to throw. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Ready. You ready? You ready? That's it.
Now Brees on 3rd down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to fire one. He's got a man. Complete. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, 82 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. 3rd down here. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, easy. Ready. Move 90. Easy.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The 20, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll run here with Freeman. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on third down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
They'll try and run. Freeman. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch that in. Watch that in. That is right. That is right. Ready. We're waiting.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Get set. Get set. Get set.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And now running right through it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, 21.
From midfield, here's Breeze. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch 89. Watch ready.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Ready. We're waiting. Rush 11, 11, 11, 11. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Waiting, let's check.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun, gun, gun. Hey, down.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Ready. 25.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hey, let's go.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Now Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Santos with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On second down, here's Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
The Saints on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third down and 12. To throw, it's Breeze. Again has it complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be fourth down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. And here now come the Falcons. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a third down and 8. Ito Smith, his first carry. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. On fourth down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now it's Ginn. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. This is Freeman on first and 10. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman.
And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Hey. 12.
Here's Breeze. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Breeze now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Ready. We're waiting.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Everyone's got 4. Ready. We're waiting.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. Well, this is caught by Gibbs. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Tight end right. Ready. We're waiting.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And that'll bring up 2nd down. The final shot before half for Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's got this down to the 35. So we've reached halftime. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Hey. Yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. Jim. Kill. Ready. Push up.
Breeze now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Ryan on 2nd down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Again, they'll run with Freeman. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 1st down, Breeze. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get up here to the 26. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's got some space here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Ready. We're waiting. 95-56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Deion Jones leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Ready. We're waiting.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
I got 19. I got 19. Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Able to avoid him at the 40. And now past another. Penalty stings big time there, wipes away a very good return.
And they work out it so hard because the goal is give yourself some space for your offense to really work. Try and gain an additional first down outside the 20 or 25-yard line. Instead, this one's going to come back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Freeman again. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
3 down, 3 ready. Back 25.
Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Here's Ginn. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Ready.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Ready. We're waiting.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Again to Henry. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. The penalty does everything but get them a 1st down. It's close here on 2nd and inches.
Ready. We're waiting.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. Ready. We're waiting.
From the gun, it's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Breeze, gotta have this one. Now Breeze wants the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Derrick Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On the give, this is their fullback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my...
Now Breeze wants the football. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Breeze. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
21. Over.
Now Breeze. Now a desperation throw. They've got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Ready. You waiting?
Breeze now on 1st down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Breeze now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Breeze. Dancing to his left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And it's caught at the 7-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Here's Breeze to throw. He goes underneath to Ingram. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish.